All right, welcome back to our series on how to play Boulder Skate. Today we're gonna be learning how to play the fighter class and how difficult I would say is to play the fighter class. So first up, we got the vanilla fighter, and basically, you want to mismatch your class, your attributes. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. If you want to like role play something else, that's fine. But basically, it's best to mismatch your attributes. So your strength is highest you can go. Dexterity, Constitution are your next two important stats, and Charisma is just in case you want your party. As your role as a fighter is to basically be in the front lines, you're taking the damage, and you're dealing the damage as well. Like two things, like you're tanking and you're dealing damage. So you want to give them plate mail, Cloco Bardrin, Helma Bardrin, and then you got weapons. You can get very meta with it, but basically two weapon style is pretty good. Give them a long shot. Uh, give them a ring of protection, and you're gonna -6 armor class, which is pretty good. And then for belts, uh, I think it's you want if you're wearing the plate armor because it's armor class one -3 versus slashing and -2 versus piercing, but it's just gonna be armor class one versus blind. So put on the Detroit Hills and give you a plus four against crushing. I believe most humanoid enemies, so most like anything that's not like a monster is gonna have slashing. And then like ogres and golems, they're gonna have crushing, which will do some serious damage. And so wear a belt of Destroy of Hills or drink of a potion of absorption right before you fight one of the ogres or golems. Um, not that there's really any golems in Baldur's Gate 1. Potion of Vulnerability, Potion of Heroism, great buffs for the melee classes, fighter class, Potions of Healing, Potions of the Antidote, potions of elixir of health, all important to keep in mind that you'll be using them all for the fighter class because you'll be taking damage. For your boots, there are certain boosts that will protect you from lightning and frost. I think a lot of people like putting their uh, boots of speed on the fighters. I particularly don't like that, but I understand why it's pretty meta to do it. Like it's your character will move faster than the enemies, so you are acting faster than they are. So that is a benefit. But I don't like it. So I put the boot Italis would be best for your main character. Um Gauntlets, honestly, if you're min-maxing, you have no need for any of the gauntlets. So the gauntlets of dexterity or the strength can go to your other like NPC characters that might not have a maxed out strength or dexterity, which whatever one is needed. And unmodded Baldur's Gate necklace are not much you can do unless you want to free up your other ring slot to put on the other gifts, and your keep the that's to a passport and put a is it just necklace of protection? I think it's just called a necklace of protection on there to get that armor class back. And that's basically it for vanilla fighters. I
I am
mean,
here.
you're eventually gonna get yeah, basically you're up front, you're attacking, you're defending. Vanilla fighting class is gonna be ranked beginner. So there's beginner, intimate, advanced, and then difficult to play. And
Your concern?
beginner for vanilla fighter.
Hmm?
Next we have the berserker. If you watched my how to create a character class, we made a berserker. And berserkers are basically doing the same thing as the fighters will. But when you get into combat, you're gonna click enrage. Basically, your rage will give you protection against well, you get a gains a +2 attack bonus as well as to your armor class, and you become immune to charm, confusion, fear, fearful mind, hold, imprisonment, level drain, maze, stun, and sleep. The berserker also gains 15 temporary hit points, which are taken away at the end of her berserker speed, possibly knocking her unconscious. So basically, you get one per level, and every 4 levels after, you get to pop one of these per day. And that means, like, if you're going up against a wizard or whatnot, you pop this off, and you're not going to be affected by their spells if they're trying to do crowd control spells. You will get hit by, like, fireball and lightning bolt. But, so yeah, the only downside is because when you become witted, so you lose two to your -2 to your combat hit rolls and damage roll. So for a time after it, you just become less effective. But if you're doing enough damage output with yourself and the rest of your party, that's not gonna be a problem. Nice combo that you can do is get the Spider Bane, which makes you immune to web. So you use your mage cast web, you have this on there, and you go in there and you just go to town because all the enemies will be crowd controlled while you are not being crowd controlled and you can freely do damage. Another thing you can do is cast web uh beforehand, have your fighter, your berserker drink a potion of fire resistance and put on the passport, and you'll get like 100% fire resistance, I believe. And they cast web, and while they're while he's chopping down on them being all stuck, he casts fireball. He's not gonna get hurt. If depending on how high his fire resistance is, he might just get healed by it. Um, so yeah, Berserker, another beginner class level. So you'll have a ton of fun playing Berserker, and you won't have much trouble. We'll go to the the next beginner
Spit
class,
it out.
and that's the Dwarven Defender. The Dwarven Defender, basically, what the Dwarven Defender is that, let me read a class description. The Dwarven Defender is a formal warrior that is reputed to be worth 2 soldiers of any other race, trained in essentially the art of Dwarven warfare. A handful of these stout fighters carry together a defensive line all but Unbreakable. May use defensive stance once per day, gains one use at level 1 and 4, one use at level 4, every 4 levels afterwards. So basically, for one turn, the Dwarven Defender gains 50% resistance to all forms of physical damage, plus 2 to bonus to saving throws, and a 50 percent movement rate. And you gain 5% resistance to crushing, slashing, piercing, and missile damage every 5 levels to a maximum of 20%. Basically, you're gaining. So at level 20, you will have 70% physical resistance stance with this. And there are items that can increase and like high level abilities that will increase your physical resistance damage to 100. You're not taking any physical damage. Uh you got some restriction. You have to be a dwarf. You have to have you can only seed high mastery, 4 slots, that's fine. You may not seed specialization, 2 slots in any weapons. There are good axes and warhammers in the game. So
You rang.
basically you go, you set your door
Sorted.
defender in front, you click their defensive staff, and he just gonna take damage after damage. So right now, let's see. Yeah, his resistance. He's got 50% of that. Plus, he's got 2%, 2 plus 2 to saving throws. And he already gets good saving throws because of his Dwarven race. And you can bump up his constitution to 20 with another item later in the game. So he's going to have great saving throws. So, like, Dwarven Defender, easiest class to play in the game. The only problem is, can't move that good fast. He's not moving that fast. That's fine. You're supposed to be up there taking all the damage anyways. So, yeah, Dwarven Defender, beginner level difficulty for the class, and if you like playing dwarfs, then be a Dwarven Defender. All right, first we're gonna
Haven't
go
you got
with
nothing better to do?
the next class, which is intermediate uh difficulty Barbarian. So the Barbarian is basically a less efficient berserker. And so basically the Barbarian was moved to the fighter class kit because they wanted to introduce another class, the Shaman, in the Siege of Dragon Spear expansion. And so the Barbarian was moved to the fighter kit. And basically, uh so you're not wearing heavier armor than Splint Mail. You're not getting more than specializing 2 slots with any weapon. You're uh you're not achieving specialization 2 slots in fighting styles, but you can't get the 3 in a 2 weapon slot, which is okay. You move 2 points faster than other characters. You are immune to backstab. You can use rage, which is a not as good version as the berserker. So you gain your stats last for 5 rounds, +4 to bonus to strength and constitution, a -2 penalty to armor class, and a +2 bonus saving throws versus spells, as well as to immunity to all charm, pull, fear, maze, stun, spell confusion, level drains. And it's kind of, kind of plus pros and cons to using rage. Like whenever someone like says, "Hey, I want to play a barbarian," I'm like, "Dog, you should play a berserker. Why are you playing a barbarian?" But if you want to be a barbarian, you can. There are some cool features like you start gaining 10% resistance to crushing, and so basically by level 19 you'll have 20% base resistance to that, and then there are hardiness HLA ability that you can do that will increase your physical resistance. And I suggest specializing in the fells because there is a in a late game fell that will give you more resistance. But the main issue with uh is that like early game barbarians is like the armor. Like you're gonna get a chainmail, which would be an armor class 5, and you're gonna you're not gonna work as a tank as a fighter. So basically, you're more of dealing more damage and getting out of there because you can't tank. You can't really tank because you're getting hit like every time you're getting hit. So again, especially if you click your rage. So it's like so basically like uh you're not gonna be the front and center tank as you would play with the other three fighter kits we talked about so far. So you would be more of the damage of the character, and maybe you would pick someone up as an NPC to do your tanking, which is fine. Like every class I've talked about so far, you would have your clerics and your mages buff them with spells and whatnot to do better tanking. But like the the barbarian, it's just should have wish it would have stayed as a class of its own and play a berserker. That's all I can say about the barbarian. All right, our second
Now what?
intermediate class we're talking about next is the Wizard Slayer. So basically, they get each successful hit bestows a 25% cumulative chance of spell failure on a target, 1% magic resistance per level. So basically, you're gonna have a 9% magic resistance on it, and like this is good. Like it sounds good, but the problem with this is that like if a mage has like stone skins on it, you hit them, but the game doesn't count it as a hit, so they're not getting that 25% cumulative chance of spell failure. So you have to bring down their stone skin, and if you already brought down those stone skins like any other normal way, you're not really the 20% doesn't matter because you're already doing physical damage to them now, and they're already dead. So this is pointless. Like I don't play unmodded Wizard Slayers basically, but they can still be fun. Like I said, that 1% magic resistance. So you got 9, and well they can't wear the cocoa bars. The big issue with the Wizard Slave is they can't use magical items other than weapons and armors. They can use like potions, antidotes, and like a lich's health, but they cannot they cannot use like buff potions, like potions of vulnerability. They can't use Cloco Bardrens. I don't even think they can use Ring of Protections. Yeah, they can't use Ring of Protections. They can't use bracers. So like one good strategy for a Wizard Slayer is to make them range. They got the rage to dead shot. I got them in the dead shot. And there's really good magical arrows, like arrows of dispelling, pretty good theme on it. Cast spell magic on a target when they hit. All good themes. The Devil's Protector, which would add give them a +2 Thaco, they can't wear it. They can't do it. So like, yeah, you're this cool wizard slayer, but you don't get to use any of the cool magical items that your fellow fighter class would use. So you have that limit. So like, if I was to say which of the barbarians in the wizard slayer would be harder for you to play,
I'm not
probably the
doing that.
barbarian, because the wizard
Uh-huh.
slayer you can give them better armor, give them the same weapons, and they might not have the same damage output as the barbarian, but they'll survive more hits. And 9% magic resistance. Hey, maybe you'll get lucky and that 9% will roll successfully, and you won't take magic damage. You know, you might get lucky. Now, time to talk about the
And now what?
hardest, the difficult, I would call the advanced class of the fighter, the Kensai. So basically, the Kensai is the best way to put it is like the stereotypical Master of the Blade. I have anime and God on my side type class. Basically, the class name, which means sword sage in the common tongue, refers to a warrior who's been specifically trained to be one with her weapon. The Kensai is deadly fast and trained to fight without the protection of armor. Note, despite its common name, a Kensai may use any weapon with she is proficient. So you get +2 to bonus to armor class, +1 to hit and damage rolls every 3 levels, -1 bonus to speed factors every 4 level. May use Kai. Basically, Kai is for like the next 10 seconds you do massive damage, which can be nice. Basically, you cannot wear armor. You cannot use missile weapons. May not wear gauntlets or bracers. So basically, you're a glass cannon. That's what you are. Now, some people might have fun, get yourself a katana, put yourself on a cloak of Bardred or another cloak. Can you use rings? Yeah, put you on yourself some magical rings and whatnot. Make sure you have the highest. Uh, well, basically, I would say max out your stats if you can. What I did was show you that what most people do play as a Kensai, they're gonna dual class to mage later. So I'll show you here.
What must I do?
So level up, and then they'll dual class to a mage. I can't dual class. Oh yeah, no, I don't have. So basically, normally I would dual class to a mage. I kind of messed up, but you need to get to 17 uh, intelligence, and I clicked the wrong thing. So basically, you would dual class to a mage. Basically, after you get proficiencies for your max out your proficiencies for your katana or whatever weapon you choose to grand mastery, and then you dual class to mage. And basically, all your defensive, like tanking ability, will come from your mage spells. So you would get Mirror Image, Stone Skin, Ghost Armor, maybe some Fire Circle, Fire Shield, Fire Shield, uh, Blur, Spirit Armor, basically all haze, improve haze. Basically, you would be a self-buffing machine, basically. That's what you do. Uh, I did
Go on
forget,
then.
and no, I did talk about his constitution.
And now
Never
what?
mind.
No trouble at all.
And basically, it's just that, you have you're basically you're not playing the class, Kensai. Like you're gonna dual class into a mage. You're not really spiriting class, and that's a little bit more advanced knowledge of the mechanics because when you dual class, you have to basically uh, you would have to get to level 3 thief before your Kensai class would even be activated back. So you have to plan out that how much experience points you need. Um, I don't even think it's worth dual classing a Kensai and Baldur's Gate 1. So you would have to figure out when you wanted to dual class a Kensai in Baldur's Gate 2. Like it's just a little bit more complicated. And for the majority of Baldur's Gate 1, you you're not gonna be the main focus on your party doing damage. You're gonna micromanage your Kensai so they're not dying the moment combat happens. Like basically they're not a fighter. I don't
What
know
must I do?
what the developers originally thought about the Kensai. Were they just really thinking, oh, they would just, dual class into mage and it would be fine. Like I don't know. That's why I rank Kensai's as the advanced difficulty. And yeah,
No trouble at
that's
all.
the guide on how to play fighter classes. Overall, the fighter class is a beginner class. Anyone can pick them up and have lots of fun with it, and not have to worry about too much micromanaging, and then you focus on their other party members and learn how to do them as well. If I was to pick my favorite, theme wise, I think the
You need
Wizard
something?
Slayer
If you're
for
sure that's what you
story
want.
reasons should be the best fighter class. But that would be spoilers. I'm not gonna say that. Um,
Spit it out.
what I would choose as the
Salty.
easiest and most meta class to play, Dwarven Defender. Him doing his little Dwarven dance right here.
You salted.
Yeah, because of just how good of a tank he will be. Well, that's it. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions about the fighter class or questions on how to play Build Skate Enhanced Edition, go to leave a comment. And I believe the next video in this series will be about the Ranger class, which I think because I'm just basically going down the list of how they appear in character creation. And if my memory serves, it should be fighter and then ranger, but it could be fighter, paladin, then ranger. Just my memory's not as well as good as it's been. But yeah, uh, have fun playing Baldur's Gate the Enhanced Edition, and I'll see you cool kids next time. Bye.